What's up, everybody, and welcome in to the Backliners podcast, Aggro and BaRRaCCuDDa. As per usual, big week in the SPL. But before we get to that, there are some things we got to take note of. Number one, you should be buying our merch. I'm wearing a wonderful Backliners t-shirt.
Oh,
What was the game plan there, Barry? You look like you were going to take your shirt off, and then we would have just gotten in trouble. Was that the plan?
Look, man, I'm on like no hours of sleep. I've forgotten the Backliners merch 2 weekends in a row now.
Tough. That's all right. We're gonna work on it. You know, we're hitting our stride. Make sure you guys get it. It's in the chat right now. It'll be in the podcast description and YouTube description as well if you're listening. So make sure you guys are snagging that. We got hats, we got shirts, we got hoodies, we got it all, baby. We don't have it all. We have the three things I listed.
We have 3 things. That's all you need.
Yeah, and what else could you possibly need? Number 2, this is likely going to be a little bit of a shorter episode as I have been quite busy. I'll be able to talk about why I've been so busy later on this week, but can't really do so now because I don't want to jinx anything. BaRRa is a gamer with a horrible sleep schedule.
A great sleep schedule, just horrible sleep.
Okay, great sleep schedule, horrible sleep. So
I just don't sleep well. I don't know why. I've tried all the remedies, all the melodies.
You've done melatonin? You've done melatonin?
Yeah, I've tried everything. Well, melatonin actually keeps me awake.
That seems like the opposite. Wait, okay.
Yeah.
So if melatonin keeps you awake, have you tried like chugging Mountain Dew before you go to bed? If we're on opposites, if we're on doing opposites, you know, your body sees melatonin, gets awake, chug caffeine, go to sleep. You know.
You know, maybe I try this tonight. I feel like I slept absolutely awful last night for no reason in particular. Maybe the Comcast guy came today, and that's what I was worried about, like missing it or something, sleeping through it. I don't know. I just slept bad.
Remind me to tell you, this is a story for next week's podcast, or I guess 2 weeks from now, because that's my third announcement, is that there will be no podcast next week. We're going to take a week off. Again, I'll be able to tell you more later. I just really don't want to jinx anything. I can say it, right? Like, no way something goes wrong from this position, right?
Yeah, no way. That's what we said when we pulled like 8 fire giants.
Oh, boy. Jeez. Yeah, it's going to be fun. All right, I'm not saying it, so get over it, chat.
Okay.
And then I think I had one more thing. Oh, yeah, I got a bone to pick with you before we get into SPL.
What'd I do?
You told Dolson you loved him on the way out of your interview.
Bro,
what is that supposed to be about?
Am I allowed to talk about what went on around that interview? Wait.
Are you messaging me on Discord? Because I won't be able to see it. Because I use the Discord thing. You can talk. I think I know what you're asking.
Okay,
Yeah, Yeah, there's a way you can do it and be smart about it here. So I'm just gonna trust. Go ahead, let her rip. We'll see what happens.
What do you mean smart about it? What do you mean be smart about it? Bro, I don't know what's the worst thing. The interviews are
pre-recorded.
Okay.
Yeah, we pre-record the interviews. Yeah, we talk. We do them in the morning.
Well, I was not ready for mine. I was mid poop. And I got the Discord message to join the call, and I am pinching and sprinting upstairs.
Awesome.
And so I completely forgot that I had the interview. So I legit rolled out of bed, went to the toilet, and then right after I sat down, I got the Discord message to join the call, and I started sprinting upstairs, completely out of it, and still like, you know, I wouldn't say like fight or flight, but just like, I have to go to the bathroom now.
There was some adrenaline pumping.
Yeah. So I'm just sitting there waiting for the interview. And I don't know what I said on the interview the whole time. And yeah, it was a real great experience for me. I sprinted back downstairs, finished my business, and that's what he meant when he said, "I'll let you get back to business." Because I had talked to him about it.
It's true. He did tell that story to me right away afterwards. But I'm still, I was just like, it felt like it was watching, it's like watching your significant other like flirt with someone else. You know, it just felt a little weird to me. You know, that's all I'm saying. I just felt a little, it was just a little weird for me. You know,
I thought we were open. So.
Well, we talked about being open, and then it's like this is the first time. Okay, this bit's going on.
You're just jealous of Dolson, bro.
Why wouldn't I be jealous of Dolson, man? Look at the man. Are you kidding me? He's the nicest guy ever. He's sick at casting. I don't get it.
And his chair ads are perfect.
That's all there is to it.
I love the guy. I don't love him, but like I love what he is.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. No doubt about that.
Okay,
so yeah,
good.
I'm over it. It's totally fine.
Good.
All right. Let's talk about the SPL this week. I think it was a phenomenal kickoff week. We saw a lot of different stuff. And I think we should just go match by match and kind of give our takeaways. So kicked off Friday with the Tartarus Titans up against the Camelot Kings, and the Kings kind of came in and made the Titans look pretty bad.
I think as well, the Titans made the Titans look pretty bad.
Boy, did they. Yeah. Boy, did they. It was rough, man. I
was kind of shocked at how uncoordinated the Titans looked.
Yep.
I mean, I know it's their first set and like scary swapping to the jungle and yada, 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 but I was still surprised at how just un-team-like they looked, I guess. It kind of just looked like 5 really good players playing on the same team, but they don't know each other.
Yep. Yeah, it was rough, man. All right, go ahead.
I feel like Aurora was like trying to make plays and trying to start like things to happen on the map, but there was just like zero follow-up, and like people just weren't in position to do the plays.
Dude, game 2 in particular on the Umoja, I felt like Aurora was like, all right, can I cage this guy? And then like no one says anything, and then he just goes, all right, I'm caging him. And then he lives, and it's like, all right, man, I'm just going to keep on doing that until someone's here on time, and that's what I was worried about with that team. And then look, it's week 1. That team's going to get a lot better. I'm not super worried about them, but certainly a concerning start at some level. And one of the things that when you're thinking about how a team is going to communicate, Paul and Scary aren't really talkers during the course of a game. Aurora is, but also not. Aurora is not like the dominant, talking for everybody type of voice. He's a guy who's really good at talking about what he's going to do and what his job is, which is all you need. I do not know how vocal Cyclone Spin is, and I've heard that Benji is actually pretty vocal. But in the early game, how is that going to work? If you're mid 3v3, Aurora's the only one talking.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm definitely a little... I'd be not majorly concerned if I were a Titans fan, but that would certainly have been a disappointing first set if I were rooting for that team.
Agreed. Because I think for this week they just need to not really practice anything new and just work on being like a team together.
Yep.
And just working on their plays as a team.
How do you think mandatory fun time would do for this team?
Great. I mean, you saw our set against Leviathans. Man,
that looks like mandatory no fun time.
I was having so much fun.
All right, let's talk about your set then. Also, I got to give some credit to the Kings. Obviously, lots of players on EU ping, and they all played really well. Leviathans versus the Bolts. Yeah, you guys kind of got owned.
I don't know why we played so scared and so reserved. It was really annoying in the game. We had the big talk about it afterwards. And a lot of people were, I mean, not like angry, but it was just like we were waiting to watch them play Smite.
Yep.
And in scrims, it's the complete opposite. And we're the ones like making plays, setting the pace. And then when it came to SPL, I'm just like, okay, I'm picking the Apollo boys. Yep. I'm building that Rage third. Like, time to fight, time to slam. Let's get in there. And I'm just like, okay, there's no fights. Like, and every time I was flying above their backline in both games, I felt like both of them were full HP, had all of their relics and everything. I'm just like, I could either land on their frontliner.
Yep.
And do 20 damage here, or I could try to make a hero play in their backline because I have to beads instantly off the Heim 2. And there was one time I ulted in. I was literally spamming my beads the whole time, like literally before I hit the ground, and I still got knocked up in one shot. I'm just like, well, that's great.
Yeah, that's kind of that's a little bit unlucky. By the way, real quick, I do want to get back to this, but this is an important comment in the chat to me. Gokinator says, I got to wear my Backliners hat on the golf course today, and I wanted to know if it was the round of your life, Gokinator, because I assume it was. That's all I have to say. Yeah, I messaged you about that set because I agree with your assessment that you guys were doing a whole lot of waiting around. It's my least favorite type of Smite, to wait around, let other teams make the mistake for you. And it felt like that's what you guys were doing a little bit. But I did appreciate how alpha you were getting in there. Like, you're talking about how you're seeing the 2 backliners full HP with their relics up and how you made your citizen get in there still. And I appreciated that.
Yeah, I was just like, this is literally the way we team fight. I'm expecting my other 2 frontliners to be there, and I'm expecting Last to be ripping through it any moment here. And those plays just weren't happening. I'm just like, unlucky. The same thing happened on that Ymir play, where I thought the Ymir was going to die, so I'm ulting up because we should be killing the Ymir, diving into their backline in like a sequenced event.
Yep.
And the Ymir lives, I'm just like, and then we all die, and there's no one like going and making room either. I'm just like, what? Where am I supposed to land? I don't end up landing on the Ymir. Like, by the end of it, I'm just flying above him like, nothing's happening, and I don't want to trade my life for, I think it was like 3 levels above the Ymir, and I'm 100% going to die off that trade.
Yep.
So, yeah, there was just nothing for me to like really do on the Apollo, which kind of made me like a little sad, obviously, because in scrims, like, obviously I'm practicing Apollo this week to play it in that set, and it was just a different pace and a different, like, we just played 2 reserved and we played 2 scared. And also Yarkor super surprised me. He played so well. I was very impressed with how he played. And Shinto as well. Like, their backline popped off. Like, they played so well.
Yep.
And they kind of exploited a few errors in our picks and bans and overall map decisions in both games. And we were very aware of that going into the Scarab set. And I think we didn't fix all of it, but we were more aware of the issues that were happening. So we learned a lot. And yeah, I would say it was a productive set, even though we lost, which is, I mean, the best that you can ask for.
Yep. A couple things that the chat wants me to address. I'll address one of them. You'll address the other. People asked about the purse bug. I do not think it impacted the game at all. And
did he die?
Yeah, like, it's a non-factor. Anyone who's saying that, I think, is not paying attention at all. And secondly, everyone's asking about the solo kill that Yarkor had on you, and I'm leaving that one.
Oh. Yeah, the last 2 autos he had dropped me a lot. Like, I was winning the trade before that, and he just wind demon down the whole lane, and then he just crit me twice, and I was like, I guess I'm dead here.
Yep.
And Heim crits still hit pretty hard, especially on that 3rd auto attack. I don't know exactly what numbers it was, but in the moment, I was just like, I'm winning. Oh, I lost.
I looked at your cam afterwards, and you didn't... it's so funny because... Here you talk about the games and just, like, knowing how you are. BaRRa definitely has, like, a game mode where, like, game mode is such a weird way to put that because game mode's a thing. But, like...
just like a focus mode.
Yeah, like BaRRa didn't even, like... Normally, if BaRRa were, like, in a ranked game or something like that, you would have gotten the... What was that? Or, like, the eyes and the head shake. Like, you would have gotten the whole thing. I don't even think you blinked. You were like, all right.
Yep, I was just like, well, I think I said in comms, like, I guess I'm dead or something, like, or like, I'm dead. Like, after he threw the big auto and crit me, and then he was like, oh, I'm just going to TP in and kill him. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, fair enough. That's the way it goes.
Unlucky.
Credit to the Leviathans, definitely looked very good.
Played way better than I thought as well.
Yep.
I think they mopped the floor with us, and I think even if we played a little bit better, they still would have mopped the floor with us because they played very, very, very well.
Oni Warriors up against Jade Dragons on the next day. Neil, in his career, has made a point, I feel like, to not ban Giannis against Herwind. And today, that day, it came back to bite him. Hurry popped off. Fine also looked like Season 4 Benji, like Season 1 Omega-esque impossible to stop. Like, he looked like he was playing characters with different base stats than everybody else.
Yep. Dude, it's just such a big difference in Herwind when he's on. I don't know if it's a team, like a good team, or just a team he feels comfortable on, or a mix of both. That man plays so much better and goes for so many more plays and hits so many more buttons. I feel like he just, like, his D&D stat sheet literally gets upgrades across the board.
Yep.
Like, on everything. He just plays so much better.
I think Hurry is just a player who really understands the game and understands how you have to win. And if he's in a team environment or a game where he feels like their chances to win are getting lower, he's a player who's going to try and make a play and force making a play in order to try and win the game for his team. And I think that's a good thing, but it also leads to him making mistakes for sure. And when he, I think, has that trust in his team and just knows that if Herwind can understand that all he has to do is his job, he's going to execute his job really, 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 really well. I think Hurry's going to like pop this whole season. I really do.
And I think I would say for his whole team, their team fight floor is already so high.
Yep.
And his room for error is massive, in my opinion, to where he can make so many more plays and go for so many more things because the plays are already being set up for him.
Yep.
And yeah, I just think he looks super comfortable and super sick. I was very impressed with him.
Beast player, love Hurry. Think he's going to pop off all year. Oni Warriors, kind of similar to you guys, in my opinion. Like, not only did the enemy team play really well, but I think they played down from what I expected. Nika in particular had a really offset, I thought. But really the whole team had their struggles.
I think Kings came in way stronger. I was very happy I called them strong at last week.
Yep.
I think Kings are going to start way stronger, and Warriors are kind of a step above Titans, but are still going to have a bit of ramp up time as the season goes on.
Yep. And then you guys played it up against the Solar Scarabs.
Yep.
Definitely a bounce back game for you guys. You all looked much stronger for sure. Scarabs game 1 definitely looked like they had a little bit of nerves in my mind. Like it looked like first SPL game jitters for Layers and for BaRRaCCuDDa. But game 2 they definitely looked a lot better. I think that, I don't know about you, but when I watch that team, I can almost like hear Steve when I'm watching that team. You know what I mean? Like they are just so clearly playing around how Zap wants to play the map that I don't know. It's like I've just watched him play for so long, and now I'm like watching 5. It's like he's StarCrafting them. It feels like.
Yeah, and I think that's going to put a lot of weight on Steve as the season goes on. Because there was that one play in particular where there were 5-man groups of fire, and I was Jing in duo lane pushing the tier 1, then the tier 2. And I asked my team, like, do you want me to keep pushing here? Do you want me to come over to team fight? And they were like, keep pushing, it'll be fine. And I knew in that moment that it was kind of like I would say like when you call a play, but your teammates don't know how to further advance that play.
Yep.
Like there's 5 people grouped to fire. Are we pooling fire? Are we baiting fire? Are we pulling them in and then going on them? Like the initial play is there, but there's just nothing more. So I've kind of just got 2 towers for free.
Yep.
And because they had no direction, they couldn't really pick our people either. We had like a Guan, Cirquette, both with beads, I think. So it's kind of hard to lock them down. And I think they had crit on Dan's, but I mean they can't really like just full commit to fire in front of 4 people.
Yeah, calling fire giant fights as an ADC I think is nearly impossible because you have your job is to stay so focused on the objective, like you're the DPS, that it's so hard for you to understand the situation around you. I think it's really key for like solo laners or guardians to be able to call around those fights because they just get way more information.
Agreed.
But that team is going to grow, and we'll talk about how they played today in a minute. And then it was the Dragons versus the Kings. Game 1, the Dragons just like absolutely stomped them. Was not even close.
Well, I actually thought it was close because Kings were still kind of making plays, even though the fire
call was smart. I liked their fire call a lot. Game 1.
Yeah, I had a lot of respect for them because they continue to try to make plays and try to do things on the map, regardless of their deficit. And
Agreed.
I was very impressed with kind of their, I don't know what the word is, but
resiliency,
just like
tenacity.
Yeah, both those words. I was nowhere close to either one of those words, and I'm glad you gave me two. I was very impressed that they were just continuing to make plays and continuing to be a threat on the map. And I was very impressed with Genetics, especially with his positioning and the way he played. And I mean, I know he's like a big voice in their comms as well.
Yep.
So their shot calling was very good. I mean, I'm sure you're about to get into it with the game
yes.
2.
Okay, let's talk about game 2. Okay. Let's talk about game 2. First of all, let's establish this right away. That, again, just like Ghost from last year, the only way that... Oh, did I mute myself? I did. I muted myself. I'm back.
Oh.
But only for BaRRA, so that's why he freaked out. I pressed my mute hotkey by accident.
I look like a dummy now.
No, it was all me. Here's the thing, is that I think there's a very good chance that the only way the Jade Dragons lose consistently is if they beat themselves. Because they tried to beat themselves game 2. As Mike said in the post-game interview, Sam kind of inted a little bit early, then got a massive lead and was absolutely owning everyone, and then started inting. Then I think Harry felt bad and started inting back. And so the game kept going. The Kings made a lot of really good calls. The call to get left Phoenix as EFG is spawning is so smart. It really it's a great way to understand the game. I think that plays like that remind me of when we first started watching Energy split push in like season 2 and season 3. Like, Genetics might have just taught the entire SPL how to play the game better with that one.
I think he did.
I really think he did. I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't think I'm over exaggerating when I say that taught 40 SPL players how to play the game better. And that in his like second game, I guess he had a couple weeks of SPL play last year, but that is very impressive. And I don't want to take any credit away with what I'm about to say. But the call to end after the fire had died, I think the call to stick around and see if they can end is also super smart. And I love the idea. But when you're coming up with these ideas, I think it's equally important to be able to call off the plan. And someone in that call had to have called that off. Like, you need to call that off. It was
kind of like our play versus like PK or whatever team that was, where they kind of knew something was happening, and then we blinked the wall, and after we all used our jumps over the Phoenix, they backed, and we're just like, well here we are.
But look, I know someone in chat says they don't know how many people backed until FG dropped. Totally. But you've got, if you're basically what you're counting on there is that your gut feeling and your instinct is right. And once that fire drops that fast, it doesn't matter how many people had backed. They're all going to get their backoffs. Like, you have to back up. And yes, there's a good chance they lose that game if they go back to their Phoenixes and back up and just try and do it there. Like, I get that. But at the same time, you have got to just back up because you're guaranteed there. I know that like it was close. Titan was close to half HP. That end was not close. Like the reason that Titan got low is because Jing got some unbody blocked autos. That Jing is never getting to auto that Titan ever again. As soon as everyone is there, that end was not close. In no world did they ever end there. So I cannot overstate how much I love the idea, but someone has got to be able to call that off. And that's why I said on Twitter, like, getting left Phoenix, Galaxy Brain, going for end after EFG died, Molecule Brain. Like, I don't know. People have been like going back and forth, so that's why I'm kind of in on it.
I think if they had gone in about 3 seconds earlier, I think they get it, but they
100%.
Stalled.
If they just go in as soon as EFG spawns, because they're going to hit it as soon as it lands, they would either have to use their jumps to get out of pit, and then one person would get their back delayed by fire no matter what, or they have to walk out of fire pit, and then it takes them forever to back. They end for sure if they just go in as fire is spawning. 100%.
The play might have only gotten to the left Phoenix part. Like, they might have not had a setup after the left Phoenix.
No, I don't think they did. And then I think it was likely someone saying, hey, can we just like stay in end? Can we just stay in end?
Yeah, there's always that one guy.
And if you're going to say that, then you best go. Like, you best go. It better be, no, we can end, go, go, go. Like, and everyone's got to follow from that point, you know?
I was saying potentially maybe they threaten the end right after they get the left Phoenix and force all 5 of them to back, and then they get the positional advantage on EFG.
Right.
And kind of just stay that threat. Because once you get the Phoenix, they're then able to pull EFG, and if you're not going for the end call within those 5 seconds, those 5 like super crucial seconds, then you're in this weird limbo where you're like the light just turned yellow and you're going like 60 miles an hour. You're just like, I guess I'm going for it. Like, and it was really unfortunate. It would have been a really cool play, but I think they hesitated a bit too long between the purple and red. And I think it was just that one player that's just like, we're looking for a pick here. Oh wait, what if we end here? And it's like, yeah, we can end, we go, and everyone just charged down.
It's just so, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a tough situation. I think it's also that they got on Phoenix slightly too early, because if they wait for EFG to be, it was like 10 seconds out from when EFG spawns. If they sit in the jungle for 5 seconds, then they can go Phoenix to Titan and know that more people are going to hesitate to back. And I think that it works a little bit better. I don't know. Great idea. Really, really, I can't overstate how much I love the Phoenix call. Just got to be a little bit more careful when it comes to ending, because I do not think that end was close whatsoever.
Yeah, that literally forces so many teams to think about that whenever EFG calls are happening and EFG dances are happening. That literally is going to be in everyone's mind. I know Zap's team is going to get a left Phoenix on someone. Or do a Phoenix on someone. 100%.
All right. Last matchup of the week was Zap's team, the Solar Scarabs, up against the Valhalla Valkyries. Valkyries looked pretty good. Game 1, just had a pretty decent team fighting composition, and then team fought really well come late game. Games 2 and 3. Game 2, BaRRaCCuDDa really popped off on the Giannis. He played super well. Game 3 was really Layers getting off to a huge lead, but the whole team played well again. I think that for me, the big deal is that having Layers and BaRRaCCuDDa both have really good games underneath their belt, just building up their confidence a little bit, I think is the most important thing for this team.
Yep, agreed. I also think Sot thrown in that mix, having pop-off games. I think he's a very confident style player. I'm not wording that correctly, but like he plays off of momentum. That's it.
Yep.
If things are going his way, he's going to play really well. If things aren't going his way, he's going to play poor.
Yep.
And I think them playing well as a team will also boost his confidence in himself and his team, which is very important for him. I think Zap will always be Zap. Don't think he'll ever have like confidence issues or anything like that.
Yep.
I don't know Bobby that well, but I kind of feel like he's always like a positive like beacon.
Yep.
Where I feel like he's always just kind of like, we can do this, guys, we can do this, like stay focused, stay positive, et cetera, et cetera. I do feel like it was important that they got the win, but I didn't get to see that many of the games. I think watched like game 3, and then I missed game 2, I think. And I was watching a bit of game 1. So I don't have like too much analysis personally about those games, but I do think it is important for Scarabs to get the win.
Yeah, agreed. You got to win that one. Philly Birds NC says, I want to see Valkyries on NA ping. I do as well. That team definitely the most handicapped by the current situation. It's super unfortunate.
Yep.
I do not expect them to do very well based on that situation alone. Raffer had a really rough day. Only one set, but definitely going to need to clean that up a little bit, I think. Johnny looked really good on the low-key. He did exactly what I expected, which was he doesn't put a lot of map pressure out right now in the early to mid. Still has some of the best instincts in team fighting I've ever seen from a jungler, but SPL players do not let you get away without putting pressure early to mid. So that's going to be big for him. But a lot of that is confidence. Again, first set jitters for a rookie. Gonna give Johnny in particular a lot of leash to work with because of his situation playing from Serbia. But glad that everyone got to see the pop off potential for him game 1.
Yep.
At the very least. Oh, and yeah, someone else mentioned the Geno's like BaRRaCCuDDa better than Heroin at Giannis. That's obviously a bit. No one thinks that. No one. BaRRaCCuDDa is good at that character for sure. Not close to Hurry.
Off topic, but you reminded me. Do you remember when I told PBM that Shington was the best support?
I do.
And he
picked game 1.
Mocked me a little bit, and then
picked it game 1. Can I tell you about an interaction that Mike and I had? So Mike and I had dinner. I think it was Friday night. And I asked him about the Xing Chen pick because I told him that I'm like, you're not really a Xing Chen player. Like, where did that come from? He goes, oh, I don't know. Like, just kind of felt like it was the right pick, blah, 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 blah. Then he hangs out at my house or my apartment for like hours, then goes home and texts me a long paragraph about how I need to put some respect on his Xing Chen because of, hold on, let me pull it up here.
Oh, you got the receipt.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you didn't know, but I was the first ever support Xing Chen game in SPL history, season 2 regionals, the whole thing. And I literally responded, hey, Mike, sorry. Oh yeah, it was Saturday because they didn't play till Saturday. Hey, Mike, sorry I didn't remember your 2 Xing Chen games over the last 5 years. That's on me. And he goes, apology accepted, or something like that. It was very on brand. For sure. Because I literally think that he told me about 2 Xing Chen games, and on God, those might be his only 2 Xing Chen games he's ever played.
I mean, I planted a seed. That's all I gotta say.
You're welcome, Dragons fans, for BaRRaCCuDDa.
That's all me.
Yeah, that's all him for sure. All right, a couple of things I think we should hit real quick before we get to the random question. Again, there's gonna be a bit of a shorter episode. Sorry, everybody. Kukulkan, do you think that's like legit? Do you think it's just a week 1 thing? How good do you think that god is?
I think that god is OP. I love Cuckoo and I hate playing against him. I love him when he's on my team.
Well, you have a Cuckoo main in Venenu. Exactly.
And I think he has a big pop-off factor in fights. There's always that Janus ult factor to him. Whereas if he connects, you win the fight. And there's always that threat that you have to worry about. I think his zoning potential with the NATO on the new map is absolutely insane.
Yep.
You really don't want to walk through that as a carry, and you can block off so many corridors and so many paths. And it's really annoying playing against. And his Squall one-shots. And his 2 is OP. So, good character. Kind of easy to dive sometimes, but in SPL, teams are coordinated. Most teams are coordinated.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good. I think he's playable.
That's where you're wrong.
I think he's playable. Did you mute to laugh after that? Come on, man. He muted his mic to laugh at me. That is toxic. Yeah, I think he's good. I think he's good enough to see play. I do not expect to see a ton of Cuckoo. I think it's likely because he's playing on high ping, if I had to guess.
I think the pick is strong, and I think Objective Secure is OP, and I think Janus is also OP.
No.
Janus is OP.
No, he's not OP, man.
Janus OP.
He's not OP, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, he is.
Okay. Here's the
thing. Okay.
Herwind is the best Giannis player of all time. That's what I'm going with. Hard stop. Okay.
Okay.
So he's in his hands. Yes, that god is super OP. You look at what BaRRaCCuDDa played it a bunch. He played it 4 games out of his first 5. In one of them, he absolutely popped off. In one of them, I'd say he had a good game. And in the other 3, it was not particularly impactful. And that's me being generous.
That's a team diff.
So, yeah, I don't know about all that, dog. Giannis is not OP. That's all I'm saying. All right? He's not. Maybe
it's OP.
Calden brings up a good point in chat. Against you he is, because you have a through space and time magnet installed on your computer that lets you get absolutely slammed. But that's it.
God's OP. Same with Bacchus. Bacchus is also OP.
Okay.
Bro.
You think? Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to get into it. No, I'm not doing it. Here's my question of the week, my random question of the week, sponsored by Pop-Tarts. It's not, but Pop-Tarts hit us up. Actually, no, Cape Cod hit us up. Cape Cod potato chips. Yeah, seriously, on God.
We're begging.
Anything. I was talking, this was an old school question that Mike and I discussed on Twitter that got retweeted fairly recently. I was talking about it with some of my friends. What's the order you put your clothing on? You get out of the shower. I'm hoping it's underwear first. It's the only thing that makes any sense.
What if you don't wear underwear?
Then you can go. You're free to go. You get to go anywhere you want. I'm personally, I go underwear, socks, shirt,
socks,
underwear, socks, shirt, pants. That's what that, or underwear, underwear, shirt, socks, pants. Here's the deal. My socks are going on before my pants always. In any circumstance. Literally 0 circumstances am I putting my pants on first. Ever. You're trolling if you put pants on before your socks. That's all I'm saying. It's pants last. Yeah, pants
it's
are last.
Socks last.
How could it possibly be socks last, man? If you're wearing like higher up socks, right? If you're wearing like dress socks that go halfway up your calf.
Are you going to church right now?
No, I'm wearing a suit for work, my guy. I gotta look nice. I'm going socks first because I don't want to have to roll up my pants. What if you're wearing jeans? In the jeans, you don't get as much movement capability. Especially if they're clean jeans. Game over if you're trying to put socks on after that.
Bro, I don't wear like fancy clothes, but I think you are right in this instance. If you're wearing fancy clothes, the order that you're putting them on does change.
Yes.
Because when I'm wearing fancier clothes, I tend to go like, I think I go like underwear, socks, and then I don't know about shirt and pants. I think it's like shirt and then pants. I think is my order.
Pants always go last. Literally always.
If you are wearing long socks and if you are wearing like, if you're dressing up, you are correct here.
Thank you.
But for a normal day where I'm like gym shorts, t-shirt, I just get out, throw on some shorts, throw on my shirt, and then I don't even put on like socks or like.
Well, first of all, I'm a socks main. There are no times where I'm not wearing socks, except for like if I'm getting in the shower, going to sleep, or like putting on some sandals. A lot of times I'll be wearing socks, and then if I'm wearing sandals outside, I'll take my socks off in order to put my sandals on. I'm a sock main, okay?
I'm not a sock main. I literally never wear socks unless I'm wearing shoes.
My toes get so cold, man. My toes get so. Are you not? Oh, yeah, you take your socks off like all the time. You're an anti-sock.
I have good circulation, so I'm not worried about my toes.
I guess I don't,
being
man.
cold.
My toes constantly get cold. But if I'm wearing socks, then I'm super comfortable. Like right now, super comfortable.
I would say even in like the winter time, unless my feet get really cold, I'm not putting on socks. I would rather cover it up with like a blanket and just like wrap my blanket around like the bottom half of my body, then put on socks.
No way, man, because you can't seal the underneath. The bottom of your feet are gonna get cold underneath the blanket. If you're sitting in a chair,
you
right?
curl it under.
Oh,
you curl the blanket.
You're tucking yourself in.
Yeah. Okay, you lift your feet up like this.
Okay.
And then you curl
nice socks, by the way. Allegedly never wears socks in his house. And John Salter's wearing socks right now. We've got him, ladies and gentlemen. We got him. Thanks for listening to the Backliners. Thanks for listening to the Backliners podcast. Make sure you give us a rating on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff.
I left the house today. I have to put on socks.
Yeah, no way you could have taken them off, you sock lover. You're just like me. You and I are the same.
No, I will never be you.
No podcast next week, as a reminder. 2 weeks from now, we'll be talking about the SPL. Thanks so much, as always, everybody. I think I'm forgetting something. Oh, buy our merch, and that's it. So enjoy the SPL, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bear, do the thing, you sock lover.
Bye. Bye.